Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Foot on Film. This week we'll be talking about the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington.
What am I supposed to do now?
Alright, welcome back. This is Volume 10, the monumental Volume 10. We've been doing this shit for 10 weeks, and this week I got Book of Eli to review for you. With Denzel, starring Denzel Washington, Gary Oldman, Mila Kunis, and maybe some other people, I don't fucking know. Basic plot of the film. Big boom, dead cat, we meet Eli, he's walking, and he has this book. Okay, pretty simple. For the first 30 minutes you don't actually know he has the book, he's just walking around, killing people, being a badass, and then he continues walking. This man is a walking machine. Alright? And then he goes to a town, kills more people, meets Solara, she tells him to stop killing people, knock that off, stop being a badass. So he's like, okay. Stops being a badass. And then he meets Carnegie, which is played by Gary Oldman. And Carnegie is the leader of this town. Has been the leader of this town for, I don't know, probably about the big boom. And him and Eli are probably about the oldest people there by about 20 years. Not a lot of people survived the blast. So Carnegie runs this town, and he's been searching frantically and searching for this one book. No one knows what that book is because there's not a lot of people that read in the post-apocalyptic future. The school system's about as good as they are now, I would say, or non-existent. Whatever your pick. So Carnegie searches for this book, finds out Eli has this book, and roll the film. Alright, so the book they're looking for... The book is... I can't tell you what the book is. It would ruin it. It really would. But the book is the last of its kind. That's all I'm going to say. The book is the last of its kind. All the rest of them were destroyed after the war. So if you don't know what it is, you have to watch the movie. I'm not going to tell you. But needless to say, the book is a very hot ticket item at this point, being the last of its kind. Everyone wants to get their hands on it because whoever has the last of these books has basically unlimited power in this new world. But that's enough of the plot. Alright, so they talk about this film being an action film, and it is an action film, and the action in it is perfect. There's not a lot of action, there's not as much action as you would kind of hope for, but the action is damn good. Like, I love the action in this film. Every bit of action in this film was there for a purpose. It's not like they just threw fight scenes in there to be fight scenes. They threw the action in there to establish that Denzel Washington is a badass. But who didn't know that? The action style is slightly gory, but never too over the top. Just enough on the gore factor to try and set up a visual style for this movie. Even without all the action of this film, like the whole style and the idea behind this film and the way they shot it and the music they used, it's all perfectly executed to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's supposed to keep you like right here, just going, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And then you find out what's gonna happen next, and you're like, oh, well, that's what happened. The acting in this movie was superb. Denzel Washington plays a really good badass, but he's kind of a quiet badass. He doesn't really talk as much in this movie as, maybe you would be led to believe, but he's definitely not preachy to anything or anyone in this film. He just kind of, he's a wanderer. He's minding his own business, and then when people get into his business, that's when you have problems with Eli. You do not want to have problems with Eli. He'll kill you. But the storyline, I like the storyline in this film. It was interesting. It wasn't a lot of things that we haven't seen before, but the way they executed the things, the familiar elements was the new bit. The reason to go see this movie is how they execute the old elements from old films you've already seen. They do it in very new ways. The pacing of the story is new and it's different and it's exciting and it's something you really haven't seen before. The visual style, the colors that they use in this film. I mean, it's a lot of brown and a lot of dark tones, but then there's also like hints of green and stuff, and just the visual elements in this film make it it makes it a watch. Like, it makes it watchable, no matter where you see it or how you see it. It makes the film watchable. And then there's a few major plot twists in this film. Like, once you figure out what the book is and why the dude wants it, I mean, that's not the biggest plot twist in this movie. Like, anyone can tell you what the book is. I mean, if you've read anything about the movie, you probably already know what the book is. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you already know what the book is, that's not the biggest. That's not the biggest thing in the movie. The actual biggest spoiler in the movie is the fact that. And that was it. Like, that was the biggest thing in the movie. And, like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. And you were like, oh my god, I can't believe you just told me. As far as a rating goes for this film, this is definitely a film you should go see in theaters. I mean, the action is just up there on par with any action film you'll see. The storyline will keep you on the edge of your seat. The acting is amazing. Denzel Washington does a perfect job. Gary Oldman always plays a good bad guy, no matter what film he's in. And just, I guess it's a watch. It's a go see in theaters when it comes out. This is definitely a movie you should get in Blu-ray. I mean, visually it's amazing. It's perfect. And, you know, I give it almost my top honor. I mean, there's parts of the film that aren't as good. You know, it feels kind of slower paced than the rest of the movie, but it's all designed to tell a good story. And that's what this movie did. It told a good story, and I liked it. The question for the week is, what would you go to the ends of the earth to protect? And why? Why would you go that far to protect it? And, you know, what would you feel is worth protecting with your life? Is the question. And next week I probably have something new coming up. I'm not actually sure. There's not a lot of new films out lately. Not any good ones, at least. You know, there's all them romantic comedies I really don't want to go watch. But you tell me what you want me to watch, and I'll probably end up watching it, unless it's something terrible. But I know you guys. You won't give me terrible shit to watch. Will you? Please don't. Don't. Okay, bye.